Knock, knock, it's the modern PC gaming demon. Ladies and gentlemen, I suffer from sleep paralysis. So, usually I'm conscious while my body cannot move. And I'll be honest, I've never seen a demon scarier than the modern PC gaming demon. Now, what is the modern PC gaming demon? What is the modern gaming demon in general? The modern gaming demon in general, ladies and gentlemen, is the demon where games are completely unfinished and unoptimized on day of release. Now, I'm recording this video at 3 in the morning, okay? The demons are out, it's witching hour, okay? There's a whole party going down, right? There might be a goddamn possession downstairs and I wouldn't know because I'm up here complaining about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yeah, if it's something about the Jedi race, they can't get above 30 frames on the highest goddamn systems in the world. So, of course, if you go to the store page, modern gaming, when you see the word mostly negative on Steam reviews, there's something wrong, boy. There's something going on with this game. So immediately when you go down into the, reviews here, game is extremely fun, but performs terribly. I'm using a 3090 Founders Edition and a 5700X and getting a consistent 30 in some areas. Ooh, so far the loading screen's pretty okay. No idea what happens past. Ouch. Runs like my ass after Taco Bell. Star Wars CPU Survivor. You know when you get a product for free and then you're just like, nah, it's still shit. Ouch. And it's not just this one person, bro. They're like pretty much all bad. Now, of course, let's get started with it, all right? I don't want to make this video just shitting on a game if I haven't really given it my time and attention. So as you see, I got 62 minutes of playtime. And to show you the actual footage over here, it is actually that bad. Now, I'm going to show you my computer specs real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I want to open a terminal here real quick. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to type in NeoFetch. As you all can see, I'm running Linux, okay? I've got 128 gigs of RAM. I've got a 4090 and a 5950X. Now, I've been told my 5950X is aging. I admit it used to be top of the line like 2 years ago, but it is not bottlenecking a 4090, okay? Let's just calm down there, buddies. I get it. Now, understandably, since I'm on Linux, there will be a performance impact. Since I'm not running native code, I'm running it through a compatibility layer, I do understand that. But none of that excuses the fact that on a 4090, I am getting 30 frames average. Actually, even less than that. So, of course, when the game starts, initially I thought maybe it's a good port. I'm compiling shaders, okay? That's usually the biggest problem in today's modern gaming era. That worked just fine. It asked me, hey, you want ray tracing? You want some of those rays trace? And I was like, shit, I got a 4090. I think I can trace some rays. So I hit yeah. And then, of course, I made sure that it was running on epic settings. My max resolution, 5120 by 1440, super ultra wide. And as soon as I get into the game, bros, 40 frames, 30 frames. In fact, the longer I progressed into the initial section, Coruscant, okay, the first intro area, and people like, Muda, it gets better once you're out of there. Bro, the game ran so bad, getting so low to the point that I'm playing at 24 frames a second. You think I'm gonna go finish it? Hell the fuck no, okay? It's not happening. You know what's happening? A Steam refund request. That's what's happening. Now, I know that, as I mentioned, I'm playing on Linux, and there's going to be people who say, but Muda, there's probably a Linux or Proton issue. And don't get me wrong, there are issues when it comes to Linux day one releases. This is a shocking release because it works day one out of the box via Proton Experimental. Now, that said, this game didn't exhibit any of the rendering issues that you would typically notice with Proton errors, and also, you gotta understand, this is an Unreal Engine 4 game as well, and sure, there might be proprietary things going on here, but generally, Unreal Engine 4 and Proton, I've noticed, work pretty well. The other reality of the fact is, other games like Resident Evil 4 Remake and Dead Space Remake, which I would argue, also from EA, looks way better than this, run perfectly flawless under Steam Proton. In fact, I have gameplay where I'm getting above 120 frames, on average 110, 120, with ray tracing underneath Dead Space. So it's not necessarily the Linux gaming fault. And considering the amount of bad reviews that this has on the PC, I would argue it's not a Proton issue, it's just a game optimization issue. Whether you're playing on Windows 10, Windows 11, Linux, you are not going to have a good experience with this bundle of code that exists as of now. So of course, ladies and gentlemen, how is the gameplay? The game is fine. I like Jedi Fallen Order shit. I think Jedi Survivor, if it's more of the same, good. I saw a whole checklist that had like explorable worlds, some town building. Like generally, this is the Assassin's Creed 2, level of sequel, except the performance isn't there. Now, I've heard that maybe this is just PC gaming. Oh, Muda, buying a PC game in 2023? What's wrong with you? No, this problem kind of persists to those who have Xboxes and PlayStations as well. But of course, we'll get to that in a hot minute. I wanted to see just how bad the performance was for this game too and what was leading into it. Now, when you're getting 22 to 24 frames a second, maybe your computer isn't fast enough. Maybe your components aren't there. My 4090 was on average used, maybe the peak was somewhere around 50%. In fact, the funniest thing was when I went to the save point and I was unlocking skills, somehow in the skill unlocker, the game jumped up to 90 frames, actually utilizing my entire graphics card in the actual skill unlocking menu. As soon as I went back to the core game world, fuck that! 40% utilization, 22 frames, get used to it. Even turning down the settings all the way to nothing did not improve the GPU utilization. Dude, this isn't even funny anymore. We're on 768p, all right? We're counting the pixels. Low. All right, everything's low. All right, low, just like my will to live. No ray tracing. Even got the assist to ultra performance. Guess the performance. All right, we're getting close to the 60 there. All right, maybe one day we'll get there. Nope, no, going back down. Getting rid of ray tracing marginally improved performance because it lightened the load on the CPU and the GPU together. But this also brings another question. The CPU utilization is bad too. Throughout my entire 20 to 30 minutes of gaming in a closed section, because I don't imagine this is the open world of the game yet, I'm looking at maybe 20 to 25%, 30 of the max CPU utilization. And looking at each core being utilized, maybe 8 of them were saturated more than the others. So overall, this is a PC port that isn't utilizing anything out of my system. Now that computer back there, it's not there for show. That is a native Windows bare metal system. That system over there runs Windows 11. It's got a 3080, it's got an i7 12th gen processor, so pretty recent, not as powerful as my main rig, so I decided to throw Jedi Fallen Order up there and running at 1440p with settings on high and ray tracing, because why not? The game still doesn't run well. It shows the same problems of lower CPU usage, lower GPU utilization, so yeah, the problems persist no matter what you're bringing. Now you might be like, have you tried the Steam Deck, Muda? Yeah, you think I'm gonna torture that poor little processor just sitting there in the corner hearing what's going on? You think it wants to run this? You're insane. Now, this is a PC port, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not joking with you. It is as bad as GTA 4, the PC port. You remember GTA 4? One of the worst PC ports in the world? In fact, such a bad PC port that I shit you not emulating the PS3 version now, the Xenia version, the Xbox 360 version, is a much more tangible affair to me than even dealing with the PC version and its many oddities. Now, of course, Jedi Survivor, okay, which I'm surprised this even jumped through quality control, okay? Who at EA, all right, who at Respawn even launched the fucking game? Yeah, it's wild over here. Like you'll read these Bloomberg articles. Hey, EA's new Star Wars sequel is made in record time. So again, yeah, can I? Whatever. Let me just go back. Read the Google version. It is entirely single player, no microtransactions. I'm not gonna pat you on the back for not having shitty practices. It was made during the pandemic in roughly 3 years, half the time it takes to produce many of today's big games. Well, evidently, yeah, it makes sense because it plays like it was made in 3 years. You forgot the whole bug testing, the play testing stage of the game development side, it seems. So of course I wanted to see just how bad this performance was, and even amongst like other Linux users, like, yeah, everyone was getting similar situations. And this wasn't a Linux situation in particular because I've played Resident Evil 4 Remake and it ran fine day one. Dead Space Remake ran fine day one as well. Yes, there are performance impacts with, with Linux, but at the end of the day, all right, it does not reflect me getting 20 to 30 frames in a modern AAA game with the highest end fucking hardware imaginable. So again, just to see how bad this game is, like if we do Star Wars, I guess Jedi Survivor, like what is console frame rate? I just want to see, if like people on the console are getting like similar issues. Oh, this person already tested the Xbox Series X and S. Let's go. Let's test that shit out, boys and girls. Let's see what the Xbox Series S is doing, or X. So let's go here real quick. Let's get to where they have a performance display. In the performance mode, you're getting 51 frames and screen tearing. And you know the performance mode means there's no ray tracing, and there's actually a lower resolution target. And the Xbox Series X, the most powerful system in the world apparently, isn't even able to touch 60. Like that bar is still shy from touching 60 frames. What is happening? Let me see. Is there a quality mode? At least a quality mode sticks to 30. Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, already they're having a better experience. What does the S version look like? Let me see this. I mean, it doesn't look great, but like this person's having a better experience than me. Their game is running at least 30 frames for crying out loud. Jesus Christ. Now, I'm sure some people are like, but Muda, can't you just wait for a patch? I shouldn't have to wait for patches. The game, if it's being sold for full price, it should work day one out of the box. I get it if a game has some problems here and there. But this is not a problem. This is a fucking catastrophe, you idiots, okay? Have better standards, okay? Just, this game should function day one. Okay, everyone should have a good experience. PS5 players, Xbox players, PC players. So far, everyone's getting shafted. And to people who are like, but at least I'm getting 30 frames, Muda. Okay, that just means your standards are dog shit, okay? Not everyone has dog shit standards like you. Trust me, a lot of people prefer 60 frames, okay? Just because you're content with fecal matter entering your mouth and veins and orifices doesn't mean everyone else is, jackass. Welcome to reality land, all right? Stop huffing the copium. You know, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is not even like funny anymore. Like, you know, you come home, you expect the game to work day one, and to be real, I've already heard from previews like before this game dropped that it wasn't going to be that great. Like I remember seeing SkillUp basically saying the performance was just not good, and I figured, oh, maybe I can make a video out of it. Hey, maybe it's not going to be that bad. I got a 4090 and a 5950X. Maybe I'll still be able to get like 70 or 80 frames on average. Not even close to that, buckos. I'm not even getting like, I'm getting maybe a quarter of that if I'm being lucky, on average. You know, maybe this game does fix up later. Maybe it gets patches, but this is the problem, okay? This game launched in a shit state. Meaning that, like, if they don't fix this game up by the time I wake up in the morning, you know, throughout the course of the weekend, it's gonna get refunded. I'm not going to go bother with this game, even if it's on sale for 10 bucks 2 years from now. Because immediately, the hype for the game is dead, okay? I don't care. There's already going to be better experiences by then. Even if this game is fixed up a month from now, Final Fantasy 16 drops, tons of other games drop, and if they drop with their performance functional and the experience good, this game is dead in the water, at least to me, and for most gamers, I imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, first impressions mean everything, okay? Especially for PC gaming and especially for like these gaming companies. Refund Jedi Survivor, go buy something else. System Shock Remake comes out in like a couple of weeks. Go play that instead. Hell, go take advantage of a Steam sale. Buy Deus Ex, for crying out loud. Buy Deus Ex Human Revolution. Because for 155 gigs or whatever insane file size I've got for this game, just download something else, play that. Hell, you know what? I'm just going to install Red Dead Redemption 2 because at least I know that works. Play that single player and forget this shit. Modern gaming, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Indefensible. If you're defending this, you are part of the goddamn problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I'm out.